Greetings my friends and welcome to No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George and today I'm reviewing the newest album from Swedish Viking or melodic death metal legends, Amon Amarth. This is the Great Heathen Army. Now, I'm a little bit late to the party in getting this album. To be honest, I just couldn't justify spending £12–13 on a new album. I generally draw the line at maybe £10, £11, something like that. Otherwise, if it's a bit too expensive, I'll just wait a few months for it to go down in price. And luckily, this is now £8.99 on Amazon. So if you haven't got it, it's definitely worth spending the money on. I would say, without a doubt, that if I had been able to purchase this album earlier in the year, this would without a doubt have been one of my favourite albums of 2022. This is a sterling piece of work. Now, if you're not familiar with Amon Amarth, as I've mentioned, they are a Viking metal band or a melodic death metal band, incorporating a lot of different elements from across the heavy metal spectrum, including a lot of traditional heavy metal sounds and styles. Stylistically, there's a flair of Judas Priest or Saxon in there at times, ironically, but there's also a decent smattering of other little elements in there, including black metal flares at times, even doom elements at times as well. So it's not just a old school death metal band or a melodic death metal band. It's not a band that's just trying to replicate In Flames or Soilwork or At the Gates. No, you've got a hell of a lot more going on here, and this is a fantastic album. In my opinion, Amon Amarth have been on fine form over the last few albums. A lot of people will note the fact that the previous album, Berserker, which was a very good album in my opinion, it was a little bit less death metal, a little bit more, shall we say, melodic traditional heavy metal at times. I still thought it was a fantastic album. The same with Yom's Viking. I thought that was a fine album. Not as good as its predecessor, which was the absolutely impeccably good Deceiver of the Gods, which is without a doubt my favourite Amon Amarth album. It's an absolute masterpiece. I love that album, not just because it's just full of freaking heavy material, but every song is very distinguishable from the next. It's a totally unique masterpiece. But back to the Great Heathen Army. This album follows the tale of the historic events of the Northmen's invasion of Britain. So with the Great Heathen Army that sacked York and conquered Mercia and stood and fought against King Alfred down in Wessex. It follows this account. It follows this period in history in the 800s, mid-800s, and historically it's really enjoyable because you've got the history there, the references to, well, my country and events in British history, but you've also got a few sort of less severe, less serious moments. So let's kick off with that opening track, Get in the Ring. Now, this track was, I believe it was written for a wrestler's music, walking out music. I don't know anything about wrestling. All I know is that Get in the Ring was written for a wrestler. Whatever. That aside, it's a freaking heavy song. Overall, this is a much heavier album than its predecessor, certainly, or the last couple of albums, and that is a heavy song. That is a very heavy intro track there. We've got crushing riffs, huge melodic sections there. Midway through the song, takes a turn for almost like a bit of a black metal tinged thrashing moment. We've got some killer musicianship there. And Johan Hegg vocals there. He sounds amazing. It's a very aggressive confrontational track, so perfect for wrestling, I suppose. Next track, The Great Heathen Army, the title track. That is a crushing track. That is an absolute pounder. Heavy as hell guitars, pummeling drums, Johan's vocals, these huge towering chugging riffs. It's absolutely brilliant. And it's great with that historiography where you've got that, the accounts of those historic events. Really interesting stuff. Number 3, Hadron. That is a very interesting track there. I don't know the Norse mythology behind it, but that is a lot of fun. It appears to be about a goat who serves mead in Valhalla, or at least provides the mead in Valhalla. I mean, what could be more metal than an alcoholic beverage dispensing goat? That is metal as F. Absolutely love it, and it's a great track. It's a very traditional heavy metal track. Big, galloping, groovy priest riffs, decent bounce, lots of melody, lots of great instrumentals there, really enjoyable and a bit of fun. Things take a massively heavier turn though with Odin Owns You All. That is a heavy death metal track, along with Find a Way or Make One, which is a heavy track, but again we get those traditional heavy metal elements thrown in there as well. It's great stuff. Dawn of the Norseman, track number 6, another very heavy moment, killer guitars, absolutely love the riffs here, so much chug, good heavy stuff indeed, prominent bass as well, so it's good, it's got that percussive edge. Number 7, Saxons and Vikings, a standout moment here featuring guest vocal contributions from the mighty Saxon frontman himself, Biff Byford, one of my favourite vocalists of all time. And he does a sterling job here, perfectly fits the song. It's a heavy song, much heavier than Saxon, but Saxon can be heavy when they want to be, just like Predator from the Thunderbolt album, which featured Amon Amarth's frontman Johan Hegg on vocals. We've got a perfect match, those perfectly paired vocals, the aggressive, guttural death metal vocals of Johan, and then we've got Biff Byford with his powerful, punch-packing vocal delivery. Absolutely fantastic. He sounds incredible, and it's brilliant because you've got Johan, he's obviously representing lyrically the Vikings, the Norsemen. Saxon frontman Biff, he is representing the Saxons, the men fighting for Wessex, and it's great. It's a really enjoyable, theatrical track. A real highlight for me. Skargul Rides With Me, and the closing track, the slightly longer, slightly more grand, The Serpent's Trail. Again, they are very, very heavy moments, much heavier than some of the material that we've had from Amon Amarth over the last couple of albums. But you know what? Start to finish, this is a freaking great album. As I've mentioned, amazing riffs. Drumming is first rate. Johan's vocals, great. Lovely appearance from Biff there as well, just to really make it a truly metal moment. The Great Heathen Army. What more can I say? This is easily in my top 3 or 4 Amon Amarth albums, and like I say, if I'd heard this earlier in the year, it would have easily been in my top 10, top 15. If you like melodic death metal, if you like plenty of heavy guitars, heavy riffs, if you like more traditional metal, if you like Vikings, if you like mead, then this is a perfect album. This is an album where you can fill up your drinking horn with that lovely ale, chug, and just headbang along to. Absolutely love this album. Can't fault it. Amon Amarth, The Great Heathen Army. If you're not familiar with this album, you need to check it out because it's freaking great. If you are familiar with it, what do you think? I'm interested to hear others' thoughts and opinions. Do you think it tops Berserker? Does it tops Yom's Viking? Is it a patch on Twilight of the Thunder God? Let me hear you. I'm interested to know. But thank you very much for watching. Do check back soon for more reviews, more recommendations, and all that good stuff. Feel free to like and subscribe. It's very, very much appreciated, my friends. Now you take care, and as always, you stay heavy.